90. Pointy birds, pointy. Anoint my head. A 90.
Oh my lord! Pointy birds, pointy. Anoint my head. A 90. A 90. How's everybody tonight? My name is Chris Quinlan. From Melbourne Musos, Facebook Live. Oh, there's going to be a few different things happening tonight. Tonight, what I'm going to do is say hello camera 1, hello camera 2, 3, and down there 4 on boot cam. Hey. Now, what I'm going to do tonight is talk about a weird-ass compositional technique called 12-tone rose serialism, used by people like Arnold Schoenburg, Anton Webern, Alban Berg, Igor Stravinsky, and one Frank Zappa. I was taken by a lovely lady. I'm going to read about her soon enough. Barbara Hannigan, an opera singer who, what a gutsy lady. It's funny too. Oh boy. Using a masterwork, Georges Ligeti's Mysteries of the Macabre, which I put up the other night on Impromptu TV. But I'm actually going down the track of the compositional side of things, okay? So what it is, I'm going to get into a little bit of the old 12-tone technique. Now, it's a bit hard to do on drums in a funny kind of way, but let me show you a way. Okay. Now, first of all, I'll get stuck straight into reading a little bit, and then I'm going to play a little bit, and then I'm going to change the patches a little bit, and then I'm going to do a couple of other things, and I'll do that for a little bit, and then I'm out of here to get a nice glass of beer later on, because it's a dull, dreary Melbourne day. Everyone's cold, and the poor old pooch is over there, says, how come I didn't get my walk last week? Because you got a little chill, and the poor little poppet was shivering a bit, and I've looked after him all week, and he's come good, but he's sort of going, when are we going for a walk? And I said, if it hits 16, which I doubt, I'll take him for a walk tomorrow. The 12-tone technique, moving right along, also known as dodecaphony, 12-tone serialism, and in British usage, 12-note composition, is a method of musical composition first devised by Austrian composer Josef Hauer, who published his Law of the 12 Tones in 1919. In 1923, Arnold Schoenburg developed his own, better-known version of the 12-tone technique, which became associated with the second Viennese school. There you go. Viennese school of composers, who were the primary users of the technique in the first decades of its existence. The technique is a means of ensuring that all 12 notes of the chromatic scale are sounded as often as one another in a piece of music while preventing the emphasis of any one note, through the use of tone rows orderings of the 12 pitch classes. All 12 notes are thus given more or less equal importance, and the music avoids being in a key. Sing along. Over time, the technique increased greatly in popularity and eventually became widely influential on 20th century composers. There you go. Many important composers who had originally not subscribed to or actively opposed the technique, such as Copland and Igor Stravinsky, eventually adopted it in their music. So it is pervasive. And because this is a musical show, let me take you through it. All right. Now, you'll be forgiven for thinking, well, how come he's got his weird-ass patches on with percussion? And I've done them in a certain order. You see. Now what's happening is you're talking about 12 tones and 12 pitches, each as important as each other. That's what goes on. Now, because this is a drum show of sorts, go have a look at your drum kit and see if you've got 12 bits on it, okay? See if you've got 12 bits. And don't play, just play them all, like even if you've got a 5-piece drum kit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many cymbals do you have? If you've got 7, maybe the hi-hat could be 2. Top and bottom, something like that. I could do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. You see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Buy 11, get one free. Buy 12, get one free. Lips. But what I'm going to do now is change the patches. And what I'm going to do here is go to orchestral harp. And now, there's a lovely lady, Barbara Hannigan, who I have a bit of a crush on at the moment. She's quite the singer, quite amazing and quite out there. And I put her on the other night on Impromptu TV, Ligeti's Mysteries of the Macabre. Go have a listen. It's just funny. And it's incredibly difficult. It's Simon Rattle with the London Symphony Orchestra. So I put it up on the old face chookeries. So go have a listen to it. And it's funny. It's incredibly difficult to play. And you've got to see her sing it and hear her. It's incredible. Absolutely amazing. And so what happens is that she's a great champion of Berg. That's why I put it up tonight. Albie, how you going, Albie? Bit of a tragic life, you know, kind of thing, cut short. But of the Viennese school of composers of Schoenburg and his two main students, Anton Webern and Berg, Berg. Webern was pointillistic, lot like Mike Patton on Fantomas, who I've mentioned already, but tonight is Berg's thing. He's much more lyrical. And then what I did, because Barbara Hannigan is this incredible singer, and she champions pieces of music like Lulu, which is quite a out there piece of music. The plot, Lulu is the epitome of the femme fatale with the tragic. I don't want to give it away, but it's a tragedy, like a Shakespearean tragedy, you know, that kind of thing. But the notes, I'll read them out. If you want to jot them down, put your beer down, get them going. C, E, F, D, G, A. So far, quite tonal. Now, G flat, A flat, C flat, it exists. It's a B natural, if you want, by any other name. B flat, E flat, D flat. Very hard to do on drums because because what happens is that you can't play the basic rules is you can't play the note again until you've done all 12. So you're going up and all that. But there's 4 types, and then I'm going to get into a different little thing with Mr. Hauer, Joseph Hauer, who was really the first. But Schoenburg took it to an nth degree. But what you do with the row, once you've got it like that, you have 4 types. You've got your main row. Then you have what's called the retrograde. You do it backwards. That's what it is. Then you have an inversion. So what happens in chromatic scales, if you go up by 3 semitones, the inversion, you go down by 3 semitones. You know, that kind of thing. And so it's like the mirror image kind of thing, and that's the inversion. And then you do the retrograde inversion, which is that backwards. And throughout the 20th century, it grew and grew and grew and grew. And by the time the 50s came along, our Frank Zappa was doing it. He's got a thing called Waltz for Guitar. And if you go and check it out, Frank Zappa Waltz for Guitar, there's a chappie who explains it and plays it, and then he got hate mail. It's quite a... It's quite the out there stuff. It's the quickest... I think 12-tone music is the quickest things to make the audience angry. Now, what I'd like to talk about now is that Joseph Hauer, who was one of the first to do it, he would have tropes. And so what would happen is he would have things like you can have a group of 4, play them, group of 4 notes, then go to the next group of 4 notes, and then go to the next group of 4 notes, you see. So it's sort of like, well, I can do that. There's 4 notes. There you go. Now, this is great if you've got triggers and stuff like that. Now I'm going to take them off, and I'm going to do a rhythmic row, okay? So what happens now is that how do we do these things? All right. Now, we can extend our 12. I've got something here that I'd like to show you, and it's a semi-quaver row. I've got a buzz happening here. What's going on here, mate? Hang on one second. Needs a bit of moisture. And what happens is that 16th notes, how many, if you've got a semiquaver and a semiquaver rest, how many variations can you have over one crotchet beat? If you're going to go 1 E under, well, there's your beat. You can have a 16th note and 3 rests, so it's 1 E and a 1 E and a 1 E and a 1 E, and then move it across 1 E and a 1 E and a 1 E and a 1 E and a, like that. 1 E and a 1 E and a, move it across again. Sounds like a quaver, it is. 1 E and a 1 E and a 1 E and a 1 E and a 1. Then you got 2. 3. You're getting it so far? I'll stop there. 1 E and a 1 E and a. So what you've basically got is 1 rest and 3 notes. So you can have, I'll keep on going, I'm only halfway. But what it is you can have 1 note and 3 rests. You can have 2 notes and 2 rests, which I've just done. And I'm halfway through 3 notes and 1 rest. So I'll start with the 3s again. 1 E and 1 E and 1 E and. Next one, 1 E and a 1 E and a 1 E and a 1 E and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. The stragglers, you got note rest. Oh, what am I doing? Quavers, offset them. All of them, all notes. All rests. You got nothing. There you go. There it is. Ooh! Put the patches back in, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to the, shall I go to the, I'll go to the Indian and Middle Eastern kits. Why not? Mix them up a bit. Get it? Got it? Good. It's a little 16 beat exercise. If I was dealing with that, that'd be 1/4, 1 beat in the bar, you see. But if I put it all together, it'd be a 4-bar phrase. Now, what I did then, was put it all in order, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now, what would happen if I used the 12-tone technique like that? Okay, so like I could just throw dice, I could do different things. Imagine you've got a musical program up on your computer, and what you do is you randomly select those 16, and you don't play one until you've played the other 15, that kind of thing. So you keep on going. Now, what can happen is you can go and get yourself a set of dice if you want to, or if you want to, you can get one of those Tats Lotto apps, that gives you the random numbers, and set it up and just go press, and then, like 1 to 16, and don't repeat any of the numbers or whatever, and it'll go 4, 8, 7, 5, da 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 da, and write it out. Just cut and paste, or copy and paste, and then print it out. And next thing you know, you've got little 4-bar snare drum solos. You can give your little poppets at the next lessons, eh? One other thing that you can do too with 12 notes of the chromatic scale is make them rhythmic, okay, when you're applying it to drums. Now, if you go from 1 to 12, let's talk about our main notes, okay? So what happens is if I just put that down, I might change it up again. Hang on, what have I got here? I'll go back there. Oh, I do love that action. Oh. Okay. Now, if you're just doing crotchets, no worries. 2 quavers. Triplets, 3. Semiquavers. There are 4 main things. A lot of you out there, hello audience, you would be expecting, oh, he's going to do 5 now. Yes, I am. So you can have hippopotamus. Hippopotamus, 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 hippopotamus. 6 sextuplets. Genal bridges. 7. 30-second notes, and non-uplets, 9. Tens. Oh. Oh-hoo! Do that again. Ha! Now I'm going to stop at 11s. How the hell do you do them? That kind of thing. And what happens is when I was doing the Black Page, Frank Zappa's Black Page number 1 with the lads, back in the day, you probably notice I'm mixing my stickings up just a little bit, like the 9s were just right, left, left, as triplets. So you have 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1 and the 2. Triplet inside the triplet. Go. But when you're doing 11, ooh, it's a tricky one, but think about the subdivisions. What adds up to 11? Now, this isn't a trick question. I say this to my students all the time. I don't do trick questions. It's simple add-ups. When you're in grade 3 and you get the little sheet and it's like, what plus what equals 11? And you go, well, 4 plus 4 is 8. Plus 3 is 11. Oh, there it is. So let's do it. You can have paradiddle, paradiddle, and then right, left, left. So, and. With the Black Page, it's there's a few 11s smeared towards the end there, and then you've got. Like that at the end. Ooh! And then you got 12s. Now, simple times tables. 4 times 3 is 12. So do your triplets and put 4. Twelves inside, you see. So they're multiples. Now, when I'm doing that, of course, I'm changing the stickings and all sorts of biz, and that's what you do, you see. A good one for 5s is right, left, right, left, left. And if you want to do 10s, it's just 5s doubled. So you could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but you could double it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're all decuplets. When am I ever going to need the blue? Now I'm going to talk about Barbara Hannigan. Oh, incredible lady. And here we go with that. We're going to talk about that a little bit, and I'm going to go to Google, and I'll go Barbara Hannigan, opera singer. There we go. There she is, lovely lady. And Barbara Hannigan, Wikipedia. There we are. And Barbara Hannigan, CM. I'm not sure what that means, but she's got her Canadian version of a Australia medal, I think. Born 8th of May 1971, is a Canadian soprano and conductor known for her performances of contemporary opera, such as Berg's Lulu, which is very quite a tragic piece in its own way, but she does that, the plomb. And education. Initial musical education came from music teachers in her hometown of Waverley, Nova Scotia in Halifax. After growing up in Waverley, Hannigan moved to Toronto at the age of 17. She studied music at the University of Toronto, where her teachers included Mary Morrison. She graduated from the University of Toronto with a Bachelor of Music degree in 1993 and a Master of Music degree in 1998. She continued her studies at the Banff Centre for the Arts, the Steins Institute for Young Artists at the Ravinia Festival, and Centre de Arts Orford. She also studied for 1 year at the Royal Conservatory of The Hague. Oy. She is known for her performances of contemporary music. Her advocacy of contemporary music began in her youth, and she sang her first world premiere at the age of 17. As of 2011, she had premiered approximately 75, count them, contemporary compositions. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, and it keeps on going. Hannigan is particularly noted for her performances of Georges Ligeti's Mysteries of the Macabre, a concert version of a scene from his opera Le Grand Macabre. Oh, where did I put that? Was that there? Which one? That one. Oh. Not 1990. There it is. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Oh, she's wonderful at it. Anyway, there it is there. And I go off and check her out. It's as weird as. It's wonderful. But if you like Frank Zappa and you like all that stuff, go check that out. There's a lot to be said for that kind of business, because you could go back to, well, what's this? And I said, it's quite equivalent to 200 motels. 200 motels, and all the operatic stuff within that, you see. So we're talking about, you know, one of our mutual heroes, I suppose, in Frankie Boy and all that. And then you've got a lovely lady by the name of Barbara Hannigan, who really goes to town with the same kind of contemporary business. So there's something there for you as well. Now, what I've done tonight, and I'll get a wriggle on now, and I'll finish the show off, but what often happens is that when you're dealing with, say, Alban Berg, he's the most lyrical of them. So once again, that's why I did the tone row of the Lulu Suite. mainly because of the influence of Barbara Hannigan, because she takes it on. It's quite a tragic tale. Oof. And it's got everything in it. Ooh. And go check that out too. But I hope I've given you something that you can get into. And then what happens is that, you know, when you're dealing with opera, it's spoken, sprechen song and all this sort of stuff. And that's very much like, if I'm going to go down the track of Frank Zappa again, that's things like The Dangerous Kitchen, if it means one thing, it's another. In the middle of the night when you get home, the thing is bright and scratchy. And he got a young Steve Vai to Man from Utopia album, 1983. There it is, you see, do different things. And there you go. So I'll wrap the show up now. I don't want to stay too long. But what happens is, go check out the following people. Barbara Hannigan, for a start. I put the link up on my post just the other day. I couldn't get past it because I did a bit of a show on Yoko the other night. And More Than Meets the Eye. She was quite the established artist, even pre-John Lennon. And quite the life, and still living it. I'm not doing a tribute. I've already done one on the other night. And I called it Yoko and the Avant-Garde, and Barbara Hannigan loomed large, along with Anton Webern and a few others. And yeah, so I wanted to get into that. And this is a little bit like a semi-sequel, if you will, and of it, but on the Melbourne Musos side rather than the impromptu side. So there you go. But I hope I've given you a couple of tidbits on the drums that you can take away, like just semiquavers and all the different permutations. There's 16 of them, straight up, and write them out, put them up on your whatever program you've got, and drag and drop them, and don't play one until you've done you've got to do them in a row. So it could be, like I said, if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to 16 permutations, why not do 5, 4, 11, 13, something else, and then keep doing that. I'll guarantee you get a snare drum solo every day. It's wonderful, and it's great stuff for the kids and stuff. Get one of your little random number generators. Just go to the App Store and just go number generator. I've got one. And it just comes up with the numbers, and just type your whatever it is, put up your things, print it out, play it. There you go. So there you go. All right. Oh, and with all this stuff, there is a storyline when you're dealing with opera. Cameo by Steve Martin.
Fainted me. Shifting around a whack. Pointy. Leaning my head.
Anointy.
Adjusting your breath.
Pointy birds.
Fainted me.
Pointy. Anoint my head. Anointy. So I'm going to love and leave you here. What a show! Take care, everyone.
Especially without having to beg. 1990. Pointy birds. Pointy.